joining all of you tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Simran Suchdev, and I work in the human rights field as an activist and writer. I am also a co-founder of the Humanness Project Press. And the Humanness Project Press is a publishing company founded by Colby and myself. And its goal is to publish books on social, political, and economic theory, human rights, environmental health, and the arts. So today we're here to celebrate both Colby's book and also the first publication by the Humanness Project Press. So it's really great to see so many of you out here in support of Colby and his book. And I know most of you know Colby for a really long time, so I'm sure you're all aware that when Colby does something, he puts in an extreme amount of effort to make sure that the end product is beyond perfect. And I don't mean, can you still hear me? Yes. And I don't mean just in terms of his professional life, but even when it comes to fun things. For example, when we're tasked with being part of a dance at Jeff and Erica's wedding, yeah, how he'll make me practice all day, every day, for the days leading up to it, because he's determined that it has to be the best performance of the night. So doing anything half-assed just is not a part of his personality. So I'm definitely not the only person that thinks so highly of him. A few weeks ago, we got an email with some really exciting news. A prominent professor and activist known in the human rights field for his expertise on race and class issues offered to endorse Colby's book. You'll be excited to know that this professor endorsing his book is Dr. Cornel West. So I'm really proud to be up here talking about Colby's amazing accomplishment. I've personally seen the amount of hours he's put into this book, sometimes not leaving his basement for days at a time. But most importantly, I've seen how much of his heart and soul he put into this project. He didn't do all this just because he's smart and ambitious, which he is, by the way, but he did it because he believes that each one of us has the ability to make this world a better place. And his book provides some of the tools for us to do that. And that's what leaves absolutely no doubt in my mind that this is just the beginning of the many amazing things that he's going to do in his life to make this world a better place for all of us. And now I'm going to stop talking so you can hear from the person that you really came to see tonight. And here is Colby Hopkins.
Thank you. That's it.
Come in front of the speaker. Bring your microphone. Bring it. That's it.
Just enunciate and talk loud. You need that thing.
I like the microphone. What can I say? First of all, I want to thank you all for coming and for your continued support. I want to welcome you all to this celebration. I'm really excited to have the book finally finished and in print. It's been a long and strenuous process, and I'm proud of the final product. Another world is possible: freedom, economic truth, and creating a society of humanness. Many of you in this room have impacted me at one point or another in my lifetime, and now you're here with me again to show your support. I am grateful for each and every one of you. Of course, I would not have succeeded in making this book what I hoped it would be without the help of a loving and dedicated group of individuals. First of all, there are a lot of friends and colleagues of mine from Occupy Wall Street that influenced this book. There are too many to mention here, and I will see them. I'm having a New York City book release, and I'll thank them appropriately at that time. I do feel compelled to point out a few from Rhode Island who had a direct impact on Another World is Possible. My friend and conversation partner, Chris Conti, right here. My godmother, niece Petronelli. In the back. She's been a strong female role model in my life since I was born, basically. My cousin and certified homie, Vinny Petronelli. All of you helped in the crafting of this book through informed discussions and topics related to its content while I was writing it. Vinny in particular edited a few of the first two parts, and those edits were very helpful in getting those complete. My friend Eric Dimbleby, who's not here tonight, he's from Rhode Island, he's an author, he has 3 books published of his own. He read the first 2 parts and provided some essential suggestions that led to a lot of revisions, mostly a lot of anecdotal information I scattered throughout the first 2 parts, which I think made the book make a lot more sense. Phil McCann of the Phil McCann Show right here. He's a good close friend of the family, supported me right out of the gate, put me on the air before the book was even out. I want to thank my sister, Kristen, who most of you know. My speech says she couldn't make it up today, but she did, to my surprise. Yeah. I put Kristen through a lot of stress, and she beat herself up over not being able to do more at certain times, but when I needed her, she really came through. She's a talented copy editor, and she got a lot of work done. And she made hundreds of essential edits, and because of what she did, I really felt a lot more comfortable putting out the final product. I want to thank Peter Aguiar, who you all met at the table. Still working. Peter's been my best friend since the 1st grade. He provided content edits for a couple of drafts and has been a solid support for me throughout this project whenever I needed him. Most importantly, one of his critiques and a subsequent conversation we had helped me craft part 3 of the book into what I wanted it to be. In retrospect, the part that I sent him fell short of what it should have been, and he called me out on it, and his input was essential. I owe a boatload of gratitude to both my mom and Jeff for literally supporting me the last few crazy months of this process. I was basically a caveman / mad scientist in their basement. I would come up for a cup of coffee, I would grumble some nonsense, and then head back down to the hole. And they supported me in every way you could imagine, providing me with the living space, the workspace, the time to do what I had to do, conversations and encouragement, and plenty of celebration. Lots of that. Jeff, in particular, also started me with Photoshop and the cover design, which I think came out good. Right. And he saved my neck a couple times on software issues because I'm not that crafty there, and he is. So. Of course, I have to highlight my mother's role in everything I do. Most of you know my mom and how close we are and how fortunate I am to have her in my life. She edited the book several times and made some key edits that were extremely helpful. But the real advantage in having your mom edit your work goes far beyond the technical editing. I got the added benefit of much needed motherly encouragement while making revisions. For example, the transitions between your paragraphs and sections make the writing flow so well. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. What a powerful way to end this paragraph. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And of course, Simran does the smiley faces, and you're jumping my speech. The hecklers in the copy. And of course, Colby, I'm just so proud of you! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Dry teardrop. Exclamation.
I'm crying right now.
I don't care what anyone says, I'll take your exclamation points all day. That's inside. It's an inside joke. You gotta live in the house to get that one. Most important is my mother's faith in me and my constant unwavering support for all my work and the crazy stuff that I do. You've been my role model since birth, and what I am is a result of you. Hugs. Finally, my partner Simran has been the foundation for this project in every way one could imagine. Now, don't get me wrong, I wrote the book myself, but Simran was the lead editor and has taken on design, marketing, and publicist roles. She's read and edited every piece of this book at least 5 times while I was writing it, and she read the final full version several times through. She's an amazing and talented editor, never without her own battalion of exclamation points, smiley faces, and encouraging feedback. Her informed and compassionate opinions and ideas help guide this project at every step. She gives me advice, helps brainstorm, and critiques my ideas and my writing. She was right there from our first decision to commit fully to Occupy Wall Street and this book, which meant I had to leave my job, to writing page 1 and up until the design the cover with me. She also motivates me physically to write the book. She sets the deadline so she doesn't take any of my shit. Most importantly, she's an inspiration to me in my work and pretty much everything I do. They say behind every great man is a great woman. Well, I'm not a great man, but I'm a good man, whose life proves that statement is some patriarchal nonsense. Simran and I walk side by side and we get shit done, and I love every second of it. Yeah, go ahead. You can. She's a hero, constantly fighting for justice in many formats. There's no doubt, Simran, that you are a great woman, and I could never thank you enough for everything you've done. You embody most things I believe in this life to be true, and I love you endlessly. You can get out.